Can you get enough protein without eating meat? Today I'm going to show you exactly how you can get over 120 grams of protein if you go full vegan mode. Now this topic is a tad controversial. Vegan and plant-based eating can be very polarizing on social media. You have the strong supporters who believe no one should be eating animal products, and on the opposite end of the spectrum you have some people out there following a carnivore diet and eating sticks of butter for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then there's a group in the middle, usually filled with people who like to eat meat and don't think that they could ever cut out animal products completely. When it comes down to eating for weight loss, things get even more complicated. Everyone thinks that they just need to find the perfect diet, and that's going to make weight loss much easier. Some people make the claim that a vegan diet is the best diet for weight loss and overall health, particularly if you use Netflix documentaries as your source of information. Other people believe that it's not optimal for weight loss. I still remain diet agnostic, and I support whatever works for you, but the one secret to better health and weight loss regardless of the approach you follow is simple: getting enough protein. But that is not as easy for those who follow a plant-based diet. But my goal for this video is to do something very simple. I'm going to show you how to lose weight in a high-protein vegan diet. Now, if you're vegan, this video is perfect for you. But even if you're not vegan, I highly recommend watching this through the end because I have some really important advice to share along with some really cool recipes. So make sure you keep watching. Hey everyone, it's Andres and I am back with another video on the essential nutrition strategies that are going to completely simplify fat loss and health for you. Today's video is all about how to use a vegan diet to reach your fat loss goals, and I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like with a complete higher protein meal plan with over 120 grams of protein in all of them. Before we dive into it, I just want to give you a quick side note that if you are new here and this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, I share new videos every single week with easy to follow tips and non-BS nutrition advice. And this channel is not just for vegans, by the way. That's just what we're talking about in today's video. So make sure you hit subscribe regardless of whether or not you're a plant-based eater. Now let's first address the elephant in the room. Are vegan diets healthier? This is very controversial and nuanced. A recent Netflix documentary called You Are What You Eat came out, and it's claiming that it is a healthier diet. And this is all based on a twin research study out of Stanford University. Without making this video about it, the documentary, well, had an agenda, and in my perspective was biased. But we can do a deep dive on a different separate video. But is being vegan the answer? Or maybe having a more plant-forward approach? We will define what that means a little bit later. Are vegan diets better for weight loss? Well, when it comes down to this, all diets work exactly the same way when it comes down to fat loss, through a calorie deficit regardless of how it is created. And we have talked about this plenty in my channel. Of course, there are other reasons that people choose to follow different diets. For example, specific health conditions, ethical reasons, environmental reasons. But if your goal is fat loss, your results are ultimately determined by whether you consume fewer calories than you burn over a period of time. That's why the best diet for weight loss doesn't necessarily need to be vegan or omnivorous, but the one that allows you to stick to a calorie deficit long enough to see the results that you want. So getting back into our topic today of vegan diets, this kind of diet might be great for some people, but it may not be the best option for everyone. Now, a couple of definitions, some key terms before we get into the good stuff. When I use the term vegan, I'm referring to someone who does not eat any products that come from animals and typically doesn't wear or use any animal-based products. Often this group chooses veganism for ethical, religious, or environmental reasons. Their diet would mainly consist of fruit, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds, herbs, and spices. Another term that you may have heard is plant-based, which is often used interchangeably with vegan or veganism. However, someone who follows a plant-based diet might just choose food products without animal products and may not be as concerned about wearing or using animal-based products elsewhere. And finally, a less common term that I mentioned earlier, but one that I think is very significant and important, is plant-forward. This describes a diet that places a strong focus on plant-based foods but may include limited amounts of animal products. I love this plant-forward approach. When you have a focus of including more plant-based foods, you're typically getting a lot more fiber and a lot more nutrients. So you don't have to be fully vegan to experience the benefits of eating more plants. This can help you, based on research, reduce levels of LDL or bad cholesterol, regulate your blood sugar levels, and help support weight loss. So even today, we're looking at a full vegan diet and some simple meal plans for it. All of the meals I'm going to share with you are things that you can incorporate into an omnivorous non-plant-based diet as well. Now let's talk about nutrition for weight loss. When you're looking at putting together a diet to lose excess fat, two important components you want to consider are fiber and protein. Both of these nutrients help you stay fuller for longer, which can lead to even fewer overall calories throughout the day without feeling restricted. Bringing you back to the beginning of the conversation, calorie deficit is required for weight loss. This helps you do that. The great thing about a vegan diet is that a well-planned and whole foods-based vegan diet typically contains fiber, as legumes, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and whole grains are really all good sources of it. Now, protein is when things can get a bit tricky. Here's a little bit of a science behind it. Protein is made up of amino acids. These are like the links that make up a chain. And there are 9 of them that humans do not make, so we need to get them from food. These are called essential amino acids. Food that give us all 9 essential amino acids are called complete proteins or of high biological value. Most complete proteins come from animal sources like chicken, turkey, beef, dairy products, and eggs. But there are a few complete-based proteins as well, including soy and quinoa. Most plant-based sources of protein are incomplete though, but this isn't necessarily a problem. It just simply means you need to eat a variety of different plant-based protein sources to get all the different amino acids into your diet. So that brings us to how can we put together a high protein days of eating without including any animal protein sources. I'm going to take you through 3 simple plans that would be great options to support fat loss for many people. These plans have at least 120 grams of protein and they're between 1,800 to 2,000 calories. But I want you to keep in mind that these are not specific recommendations for exactly what you need to eat each day to lose weight, because some people are going to put in the comments, that's too many calories for weight loss. It could be. But for some people, it may be all that they need to be able to be on a calorie deficit. Remember, to lose weight, you need to be in that calorie restricted diet, which means you're eating fewer calories than you're burning each day. If you're completely lost about this and have no idea where to start and you need support, we have a great nutrition coaching program, shameless plug here, where regardless of your dietary preferences, we will help you design a plan that will help you lose 15 to 30 pounds over the next 16 weeks. And you can go to planusnutrition.com/application to see if you qualify. Now, with that aside, people also have different protein needs. So 120 grams is just a starting point to show you that it is possible to eat a higher protein diet from only plant-based sources. The main point that I really want to make here is to use this day of eating as inspiration, but modify based on your personal nutrition needs by changing portion sizes, maybe removing a snack here and there, or making some adjustments and tweaks as needed. One note that I will make about vegan diet: a lot of high protein items you will also have higher amounts of things like carbohydrates, and that can drive up overall calorie intake of a meal. So you need to be conscious of that. With that said, most of those extra, for example, carbohydrates you have in things like legumes, for example, will have higher fiber intake. So fullness and satiety may compensate for the extra calories you may want to consume a little bit later on in the day. For each of these plans, I'm not going to go through every single ingredient in the recipe because that would get pretty boring for you. Instead, I'm just going to give you a general description of each meal. And then here's a surprise for you. I put a link in the description box where you can download all these recipes I talked about in this video, including all the full nutrition information and grocery list for free. Yes, you heard that right. Let's get right into it. Sample day number 1, 1,800 calories and 125 grams of protein. This day contains 3 meals and 2 snacks. We'll start the day with a lentil and tofu scramble. Not only does this really pack in the protein, but 42 grams in a serving, that's a pretty good amount, and it also has 20 grams of fiber. So I would probably tell you that it's an extremely filling meal and you may not be able to finish it. Keep that in mind. The main protein sources here are 1 cup of lentils and 8 ounces of crumbled tofu with some spices and veggies added in for more flavor. When it's time for a snack, you can keep things simple with a 1/4 cup of almonds and 1 cup of grapes. Next up for lunch, you can make a tempeh taco bowl with crumbled tempeh with Mexican spices, maybe some quinoa, diced tomatoes, and romaine lettuce. That sounds delicious, actually. Then at snack time, you can make a smoothie with unsweetened almond milk or your preferred choice of non-dairy milk, pineapple, ginger, and a plant-based protein powder of your choice, but I really like Owen, which I think has really good flavors. Finally, dinner could be lentil meatballs with pasta, and you can check out the full recipe to make delicious lentil meatballs in the document linked in the description. Simple day of eating number 2, 1,950 calories, more or less, and 120 grams of protein. Let's move into this simple day and what it would look like. For breakfast on this day, you can start with a berry oat smoothie with soy milk, blueberries, bananas, strawberries, vanilla protein powder, oats, hemp seeds, and sunflower seed butter. Adding the oats, the hemp seeds, and the sea butter will make this even a more filling meal compared to what maybe a lighter smoothie that you could have maybe for a snack if you want to remove some of these ingredients. At snack time, you can have some roasted red pepper hummus with some seed crackers to increase the amount of protein, or any kind of crackers really with minimal ingredients. For lunch, a great option that works well for meal prep is a big grain and legume-based salad. You can make one using a protein-rich grain called millet, combined with edamame, chickpeas, maybe some pickled turnip and parsley, and maybe adding some lemon, some olive oil, garlic, maple syrup dressing. that sounds honestly amazing. That salad will probably keep you pretty full for a while with 18 grams of fiber, but if you start to get hungry mid-afternoon, you can have maybe a cup of pineapple and sprinkle with cinnamon. You want to make it a little bit fancier, maybe you can kind of throw it all in the oven and broil it for a few minutes. For dinner, I have another great recipe for you, which is a vegan cheese and broccoli baked pasta, which uses chickpea pasta in a creamy sauce. I like the brand called Banza, and there's a bunch of other options out there. And then if you're looking for something sweet after dinner, you can add a plant-based protein bar at the end of the day. For example, No Cow is a brand that has 20 grams of plant-based protein per bar, and it's pretty good. The last one is a simple day number 3, 1950 calories and 120 grams of protein, similarly to the other one. And for our final day of eating, we're going to switch things up at breakfast again by starting the day with a simple apple and cinnamon protein oatmeal. This uses oats, ground flaxseed, diced apple, cinnamon, and protein powder. For a snack, you can grab some edamame pods, boil them, and then top them with everything bagel seasoning and a bit of avocado oil. At lunchtime, you can make a simple sandwich by combining a little over a half of a cup of chickpeas and mashing those maybe 1/3 of an avocado, squeeze some lemon, some garlic powder, and a sprinkle of parsley. Make a sandwich with 2 slices of toasted whole grain bread, maybe some baby spinach, and maybe some sliced cucumber. A smoothie is a great option for an afternoon snack, and you can make a delicious and creamy blueberry smoothie with a cup of frozen blueberries, a cup of frozen cauliflower. Yes, you heard me right, cauliflower. I have a cup of unsweetened coconut yogurt, a 1/4 cup of vanilla protein powder, and maybe a tablespoon of chia seeds and the juice of 1 lemon. And for the last meal of the day, you can finish things off with some black bean and tofu tacos by seasoning your beans and tofu and adding some salsa, guacamole, and any veggies of your choice to corn tortillas. There you have it. 3 simple days of plant-based eating to get at least 120 grams of protein. As I mentioned, make sure to check out the description box for the full recipes and all the information on portion sizes. You can download that for free. When you're adjusting this for different calorie levels or protein goals, the easiest thing you can do is just increase your portion sizes by adjusting it in your food tracking app until you have the amount that you need. Then you don't really need to be thinking of other meals or snack ideas, and everything is already done for you. Now, if you made it to the end and you're not a complete plant-based eater, I want to give you a huge shout out for committing to eating more plants. Like, this is truly going to be a game changer when it comes down to both weight loss and your overall health. If you're looking for some high protein meal ideas that aren't completely plant-based, you can also check out my other 2 videos that include high protein meal plans. I'll link those up for you in the description box. And if you're completely vegan, I'd love to hear from you in the comments if you want more videos on how to lose weight following a plant-based, plant-forward, or vegan diet. That's everything I have for you guys today, so make sure you hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye for now.